Prodigy, one half of Mobb Deep, died in Las Vegas. He was only 42 years old.
We've had him on TMZ Live a couple of times.
Yeah, he recently got into the cooking business, you could say. He released a cookbook, the prison commissary.
I love that segment, by the way.
Kitchen commissary, my infamous
using stuff that he got. I remember that pie.
Yeah.
I remember, it was a sweet potato pie, isn't it?
Yes, it was.
I remember him talking about it.
He reported that rapper Prodigy passed away on June 20th, immediately following a performance at the Art of Rap tour due to complications with sickle cell anemia. Now an update revealing the actual cause of death has emerged, and it's pretty shocking to say the least. According to the Clark County Medical Examiner, Prodigy, one half of Mobb Deep, choked on an egg while at the hospital getting treated for a flare.
DMX's final warning to Prodigy just surfaced, and it's got fans talking heavy. For years, people questioned the story that Prodigy simply choked on an egg, and now many are saying their doubts might not have been so crazy after all. You see, some fans have long believed that neither DMX nor Prodigy were just ordinary rappers who lived loud and passed away quietly. In their eyes, these two artists were truth speakers who used music and interviews to question powerful systems. They weren't just dropping bars for entertainment. They were raising eyebrows, asking risky questions, and pointing fingers at things most celebrities stay far away from.
I have no fear in losing my life. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to assassinate my character, you want to do whatever you want to do it. I dare you. Like right now, I'm snitching on the government. I'm snitching on the Illuminati. I'm snitching on the military. I'm snitching on the religion. I'm snitching on some secret government that worship an owl. They practice witchcraft to harness their power. The energy is satanic ritual. WTC. They lit the Pentagon on fire. That's lighting the pentagram on fire. Now, let me cut that up. Cut the show for the album. It's a secret government that worship an owl. They practice witchcraft to harness their power. The energy is satanic ritual. WTC.
Now, a lot of people instantly jump to the whole Illuminati talk because Prodigy spoke about secret power structures often. But supporters say the conversation was even bigger than that. Prodigy wasn't only speaking on music industry politics. He was claiming there were connections involving government officials, military circles, and intelligence networks, linking global power players in ways that sounded shocking at the time. And now that the Epstein files are being discussed again, some listeners feel like pieces of Prodigy's warning suddenly hit different. So the big question people keep asking is simple but wild. Was Prodigy's death really just a tragic accident? Or is there more to the story? And what exactly did DMX warn him about in their final conversation? DMX's last warning to Prodigy is making waves again, and fans are looking at the whole story with fresh eyes. For years, people questioned the official explanation that Prodigy passed away after choking on an egg. Now that old conversations and clips are resurfacing, many supporters feel like the situation never sat right in the first place. To a lot of listeners, DMX and Prodigy were never just regular rappers living the flashy life. These were artists who spoke boldly and weren't afraid to question powerful systems. Through interviews, lyrics, and public statements, both of them pushed conversations that many celebrities usually avoid. They didn't just entertain crowds, they challenged narratives and made people think about who really holds influence behind the scenes. Whenever Prodigy talked about hidden power structures, people quickly labeled it as wild Illuminati talk.
There's ritualistic murder and rituals on little, you know, they molesting little kids, doing satanic rituals. Like, this stuff is really going on in this world. Like, on 9/11, you know what I mean, what they did was, they 20 birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to say it. You know what I mean? Because they changed all kinds of laws. They changed all kinds of, they changed people's mentality, the way they look at the world. They pulled off one of the biggest ritualistic, you know what I mean, that ever happened, you know what I mean, live for the whole world.
But fans who followed him closely say he was speaking about something broader than that. He often claimed that corruption wasn't limited to the music industry. According to those discussions, he believed powerful figures across government, military leadership, and intelligence circles were all connected in ways the public rarely sees. Now that new documents and old headlines are being re-examined, some listeners feel Prodigy's past warnings are hitting a lot harder today. That's why the conversation keeps coming back to the same chilling question. Was his death truly a tragic medical situation? Or do fans believe there's still a bigger story behind it? And what exactly did DMX try to warn him about before everything unfolded? Now, if you scroll through the comments under that freestyle on YouTube, the vibe has completely changed. Fans are revisiting the clip with fresh eyes, especially now that the Epstein files are back in the conversation. A lot of people are saying it's wild how Prodigy seemed to be hinting at powerful networks and secret dealings years before the mainstream even started asking those questions. But here's the thing about Prodigy. He wasn't someone who backed down easily.
No fear in losing my life. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to assassinate my character, you want to do whatever you want to do it. I dare you. You know what I'm saying? My army is strong in the street. Like right now, I'm snitching on the government. I'm snitching on the Illuminati. I'm snitching on the military. I'm snitching on the religion. I'm snitching on some real. I'm on my how I should have been back in the early 90s, but it's never too late. Hey yo, we need to get together and go at the government, son, the military, all these that's corrupting our minds, our brains, the Food and Drug Administration, Hollywood, you name it, healthcare, everything. Everything is connected. It's all crooked. They got this whole world. They got our minds. Don't believe me? Go out there and research the facts yourself, and you'll see what I'm saying is nothing but righteous. You know what I'm saying? I don't got time to be spreading lies. I ain't got time for lies. I'm building an army, nigga. I got an army in the street. You want to join my army? Everybody's welcome. I don't give a fuck what color you are, what culture you from, what religion you believe in. It ain't about that. It's all about you a positive and negative person, son. You know?
Even when people around him warned that he might be stepping into risky territory, he kept speaking his mind without hesitation. In fact, supporters say he even challenged critics directly, basically telling them to step up if they had a problem with what he was saying. And did you catch that final line people keep replaying? Prodigy talked about building an army. To fans, that didn't sound like empty talk. They believe he meant organizing people, spreading information, and pushing others to start questioning the systems around them. He wasn't just talking in interviews or dropping bold lyrics. According to those who followed him closely, he was trying to move conversations into the real world. There's also an old interview he did with Alex Jones that some viewers say barely gets mentioned anymore. In that conversation, Prodigy spoke openly about powerful elites and secretive circles operating behind the scenes. He wasn't speaking in riddles either. He laid out his thoughts directly and warned listeners to pay attention to what powerful figures might be doing out of the public eye.
Curious how a guy, you've sold how many records?
28 million.
And made millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
How do you end up in here?
I think everyone who's watching knows how I ended up in here.
I don't know if they do.
I'm pretty sure.
And here's another detail that fans bring up all the time. Prodigy's old Twitter account is still online, and people point to posts where he was questioning elite power structures long before the Epstein scandal ever became headline news. Looking back now, some supporters feel those messages hit very different today. And Prodigy wasn't only speaking out in interviews either. He stayed active online, especially on Instagram, where some of his posts still have fans raising their eyebrows today. One post in particular keeps getting shared again and again. It showed a photo of people wearing masks, and in the caption he wrote, "We've been touring the entire earth, and they are spraying this ish around the clock worldwide. Hashtag population control, hashtag mind control, hashtag nanotechnology. It's bigger than race and religion. Wakey punk A up." That message definitely had people talking. What really makes fans pause is the timing.
With the internet, man, one of the big things you were talking about a lot while you were in prison was a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff, Illuminati stuff. Do you still believe that?
Yeah, it's real.
Talk to me about, because I remember, can we bring this up real quick? It's just it's from your letter. I'm going to read it. It says, "The exact moment in time when I discovered the entire planet was being lied to and was put upon a spell to keep us unaware of it was back in 1996, around the time Biggie got locked up for the tech in his house." Then there was something else here that I thought was interesting. You said, "Jay-Z knows the truth, but he chose sides with evil in order to be accepted in the corporate. Jay-Z conceals the truth from the black community and promotes the lifestyle of the beast instead." When first one, a lot of people, there's a lot of talk of Illuminati, like there's certain rappers in the Illuminati, you know, Jay-Z, Kanye. So, do you believe that they're rappers in the Illuminati? No, you don't believe that? Okay. So how do you see sort of the role of these conspiracy theories play? Like how is the black community being controlled in this?
Just through food, you know, the environment, you know, medication, you know, branding. It's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of, you go down the whole line. It's a whole web.
Prodigy shared that post in April 2016. Then about a year later, he sadly passed away while in the hospital, with reports saying the cause involved choking on an egg. That was the official explanation given at the time. Still, some followers say the whole situation sounded strange from the very beginning. To many people, the detail about the egg felt so unusual that it immediately sparked speculation online. Some even wondered if the odd detail was meant to grab attention or stir conversation after his passing. Of course, others say it was simply a tragic medical emergency. Either way, the unusual nature of the story kept fans debating for years. There was also a moment when early media coverage caught people's attention. When TMZ first reported the news, some viewers felt the tone of the coverage seemed dismissive while mentioning Prodigy's interest in cooking and writing a cookbook. Later on, internet discussions even pointed out that the founder of TMZ appeared in documents connected to the Epstein case, where an email described him as a good friend who had contact with Epstein. That discovery only added more fuel to the online debate surrounding the whole story. Now circling back to Prodigy, it's important to remember that he had been battling sickle cell disease since birth. So when news broke on June 20th, 2017, that he had passed away in a hospital, many fans assumed it was connected to complications from that lifelong condition. For people who followed his story, that explanation sadly made sense at first. But then about 2 months later, the coroner's report came out, and that's when the conversation took a sharp turn. The report stated that Prodigy died after choking while eating eggs. Early media coverage even repeated the detail that it was specifically a boiled egg. Once that information hit the public, fans everywhere started scratching their heads and asking serious questions. Think about the situation for a moment. Prodigy was already inside a hospital, receiving treatment and under medical supervision. Hospitals are designed to monitor patients closely, especially those dealing with serious health conditions like sickle cell disease. There are nurses, doctors, and equipment meant to react quickly if something goes wrong. So naturally, people wondered how someone in that kind of controlled environment could suddenly choke without help arriving in time. And then there's the detail everyone keeps bringing up, the egg. Just an ordinary boiled egg. It sounds so simple that some fans say it almost feels unbelievable. What made it even stranger to many viewers was how often the media repeated that exact detail, as if the type of food somehow mattered more than anything else. The constant focus on that one small detail kept the speculation going. Because of the unusual circumstances, Prodigy's family eventually filed a lawsuit against Spring Valley Medical Center in Las Vegas. They alleged that the hospital staff failed to properly monitor his IV and did not keep track of his oxygen levels, even though doctors had reportedly given clear instructions to do so. That claim raised even more questions about what might have happened during his treatment. To this day, people still debate the case because it remains unclear whether the lawsuit was quietly settled or dropped altogether. With no clear public closure, many fans feel the situation left behind more questions than answers, which is why the discussion around Prodigy's final days continues even now. And let's be honest for a second. A lot of Prodigy's fans never fully believed the whole egg explanation. To this day, many people still feel like there might be more to the story. Supporters often say Prodigy was someone who spoke boldly and asked questions that made powerful people uncomfortable. Because of that, some fans believe he may have been targeted simply for digging too deep into topics others avoided. The deeper people look into the timeline, the more questions keep popping up. How does someone under constant medical care suddenly pass away from something as ordinary as choking on food? And if DMX really sensed that Prodigy might be stepping into dangerous territory and tried to warn him, it makes people wonder what conversations were happening behind closed doors. It also raises a bigger conversation inside hip-hop culture. Over the years, fans have questioned several sudden or mysterious losses in the industry. Some believe they were tragic coincidences, while others think certain stories were never fully explained. That uncertainty keeps people revisiting moments like this again and again. One thing many fans agree on is that both Prodigy and DMX were artists who spoke their minds without fear. They weren't afraid to shine a light on controversial topics and challenge powerful narratives. Whether people agreed with them or not, their voices definitely made an impact. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Prodigy's death was simply a tragic medical situation? Or do you believe there are still unanswered questions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown interesting, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stick around for the next one.